Hi everyone, so today we're going to take a look at the Futur Anterieur and how it works in French. What this is this is a verb tense that takes place in the future, but it kind of helps us to describe something that is going to have happened by a certain point in time. So you could either say like, tonight for dinner I am going to eat pizza, or you could potentially say, by the time I go to bed I will have eaten pizza. So not a verb tense that we use all the time, but definitely there is a slight difference of meaning between the future and the futur antérieur. So we're going to take a look at how this works. So conjugating the futur antérieur, there's two things that that are part of this verb tense. So well, actually three. We have the pronoun, the person. Then we have the auxiliary verb, which just like the passé composé, and it's actually crazy how similar this is to the passé composé. The middle verb or the auxiliary verb is either going to be avoir or être. Like it's not going to be another verb, so it's kind of nice that you just have a choice of two verbs, and not even like a choice. There's very specific rules as to which takes which. And then you have the past participle of the main verb. So you've got your person, your pronoun, you've got your auxiliary verb, the middle verb, the avoir or être, and then you're going to have the main verb that you're trying to conjugate. So again, just like the passé composé, you need to know which auxiliary verb, whether it's avoir or être, goes with which verb. I'll just show you in a minute. So here's what it looks like. We've got, hopefully you guys can see, I don't know if you can, but it's j'aurais aimé. And so the very first part, j'aurais, is actually just the future simple of avoir. So if you've already learned the future simple, then your work is like literally half cut out for you. And if you've already learned the passé composé, then the other half of your work is cut out for you. You've basically done all of your work by knowing the future simple and the passé composé. You just have to be able to put it together. So the very first one, this is j'aurais, and you can see the ending, the ai, that is just from the present tense of the verb avoir. Let me actually just show you this, because this is kind of nuts. So it's j'aurais aimé. And this is I will have liked. So I don't know, I will have liked the movie by the time it finished. It's stupid, but whatever. So this ending it comes from avoir in the present form, And this whole chunk here, even including this, is actually it's the future simple. And this word right here is the root for the verb avoir. Woo, IR, sorry. And so there's actually already a lot going on here. So if you're already kind of confused, this makes sense. This is a tricky verb here. And then aimer, if you were to look in like the passé composé, if you were to say like, for example, I liked, then it would look like j'ai aimé. And so all we did is we took the word liked and then we've put it right here. So hopefully this makes a little bit of sense. Let me just show you a few more examples though. So again, the left-hand side, the first part, j'aurais, or like tu auras, il aura, elle aura, all those, it is the future simple of avoir. And over here, this is the passé composé. It's the main verb of the passé composé that you're conjugating. That's the future simple. Let me just give you a few more examples in English so it makes sense what it is. So you could say like, by midnight, I will have fallen asleep, or by noon, I will have had breakfast. Or by the time, I don't know, I go shopping, I will have found money to go shopping with. So it's something that definitively you know you're going to do by a certain point. So again, not super common in our speech, but it still exists. So just similar to the passé composé, what we have is we have our regular verbs over here, and then we have our irregular verbs, and hopefully you can see they take avoir. Okay? And then over here, our Vandertramp and our reflexive verbs, they take être. So for some reason, when we're learning our regular and our irregular verbs, it's not so bad because, I don't know, it's just for some reason it seems manageable. The minute we get into Vandertramp verbs and reflexive verbs, the middle verb is now, the auxiliary verb is now être, and then we have to have like e's and s's all over the place to make it match with gender and number. And so if we were to go word by word, because it can be a little bit confusing, let me again just show you an example down here. I'm so bad at this. This is really embarrassing. There we go. Okay. If I were to say, j'aurais aimé. What I'm saying, word by word, this is like, I have, will, liked, if that kind of makes sense. So it's literally, I will have liked, but even already when we translate the little chunks of the words, they're not in the same order as what we're used to. So even right away, even right away, we're almost set up for failure because you're like, it's not in the same order. So it seems confusing. Where it gets super confusing is, let's say you're going to say, I will have gone. Je serai, and then aller. And because I'm a girl, I'm just going to add in my e. So word by word, it's literally now, I be will gone. And so it's confusing because you're like, what do you mean I will be gone? Well, you can think of it like I will have left, even though that's a different verb. So the minute we use être, for some reason it just seems so much more confusing. And then the fact that we then have to make it match with the person, and in this case I'm making it match with je because I'm a girl, this for some reason seems so much more confusing, even though it's the same concept, but because it's a different verb, because you're like, I will have liked. And in English, the better translation is not like I will be gone, it's I will have gone. But then you're thinking, so let's just say in normal English, it's I will have gone. The problem with us is here, there's no have in the sentence. It's implied in the meaning, but we don't actually see a direct word in French, have. We don't see avoir in here. So then you look and you're like, well then how does that mean that? It just does. This is what it means in French. It's just going again from French to English is super confusing. So hopefully you can see here. So a regular verb, let's just say aimer. It's gérer, aimer. So we have avoir. There's our root for avoir. And then in the future simple. And then the ai comes from the present form of avoir. And then aimer is just the conjugated form of our regular verb. So you might be like, hang on, how is avoir, aurait, how is that regular? It's not. The main verb that we're conjugating is aimer. That's the regular verb. Same with choisir. So for example, it's like, I will have chosen. Choisir, C-H-O-I-S-I, that's the regular verb. And the j'aurais, as you guys can see, no matter whether it's ER, I, or RE, it's still, you have to have j'aurais, or il aura, elle aura. Like you still have to have the future simple of avoir. Same with irregular verbs. This is like voir, faire, avoir. And even actually with this one, it's almost kind of funny because you're like, oh, avoir, so much going on. So again, it's the future simple, j'aurais, and then vu is it's like passé composé, j'ai vu, I saw. So you take the word from the future simple, avoir, j'aurais, and then you take the past participle of voir and vu, so now it's j'aurais vu. So Vandertramp verbs is now you can probably even just visually see there's quite the difference here. Over here we have avoir is our auxiliary verb. Here we have être is our auxiliary verb, and you guys can hopefully see there's extra e's in brackets, and then there's extra s's, and then there's e's out of brackets. So it's basically like passé composé. It's like the exact same rules for passé composé, where these guys take e's and s's and être, and these guys here have no e's and s's and they take avoir. It's the same rule, it's just a different pattern. So again, the only difference now between reflexive and Vandertramp is that you have your little reflexive pronoun like the me, the te, the se, nous, vous, whatever. But you still have the e's, the s's, the brackets, that kind of stuff going on, and it's still conjugated with être in the middle. So again, just so you guys are super, super aware of this, let's now just look at the gendered words because that's a little trickier. Let's say you're going to say she will have liked. Because it's an avoir, it's a regular verb, it takes avoir, we don't have to make anything happen over here. Maybe it's she will have seen. We don't have to make any extra e's, no extra s's, because it's an irregular verb, it just takes avoir. Kind of manageable. The minute we come to Vandertramp, if it's like she will have gone, it's elle sera allée, and again, we have to put an extra e on there because she's a girl. So, but just like we would have done in passé composé, if it was allée, if it was like elle est allée instead of elle sera allée, then you still have to have the e on allée. And because now it's Vandertramp, we take être in the middle, so it's elle sera and not elle aura. I mean, if you were to say elle aura allée, people would probably still understand you. They would just be like, what are you doing with your French? So, and then again, reflexive verbs, let's say it's elle sera lavée. We still have to make the laver match with her, and it still has to use être because it's a reflexive verb. So that is the futur antérieur. I hope that helps. Thanks.